7 o'clock, we'll go ahead and call the August council meeting in order. Roll call.
Peterson.
Here.
Chemansky.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
I'm here. Krupsack.
Here.
Hoyak.
Here.
Wenzel.
Here.
Kuhn.
Here. First on the agenda is previous council minutes.
Move to approve. Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve the previous council minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is the treasurer's report.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion, a second, to approve the treasurer's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is citizens forum. Dan?
Yeah, after we had that storm, I was going to work and I noticed all the destruction that you guys had, or that the city had. And one thing that I really noticed was the flags that were all down. So I brought up before our Lions group last night, and they voted to give a check to the city for $500 to replace those flags, or start replacing it, so that's what I'm here for.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, yes.
You didn't make that out to Al, did you?
No, I didn't.
Dan, I want you to stop
Anything else under citizens forum? Make sure you thank the guys,
I will, I sure will.
and Rick will get on ordering those and get them back up.
Get the flags back up there.
Next
I'll make just a general comment. I want to really congratulate the community on the efforts that were undertaken after this last storm. Pretty proud to be in a city that takes care of that stuff. And there was a lot of work to be done, and you guys did a great job. So thank you very much.
I did.
Thank you, Brian. Next is presentation from Enbridge.
Well, with us tonight is Scott Suter, and at the committee meeting, we talked about that Enbridge is wishing to come to town and do a demonstration or show a lot what they're doing, and Scott decided to come up tonight and talk a little bit more, and he's got a handout that I hand out, and I'm going to turn it over to Scott and let him do a little overview, and then you guys can ask questions and learn a little bit more about what the plan is here.
With your permission, Mr. Mayor. My name is Scott Suter. I work for Enbridge. We do government relations for Enbridge. I'm originally from Abbotsford, so originally from the general area. What we like to do is do an emergency response presentation. Now, this would not be an emergency response full-blown exercise. We do those throughout Wisconsin. And in the packets, that's just general information about Wisconsin and our commitment to Wisconsin and our communities, especially communities like Nekoosa that are along our right-of-way. So if you have any questions after that about that information, I'm happy to answer that. But I know that your time is precious, and I want to talk to you a little bit about why we want to do an emergency response presentation. There's twofold. There's two phases to this. We would like to do the first phase at the community center and invite select individuals, local officials, emergency response teams from the general vicinity, probably 15 to 20 miles. We've got a list of about 179 folks that we'd like to invite to show our capabilities. Again, this is not an exercise where we would have any type of hazardous materials. This would be a stationary, several stations at the park. But the presentation portion would be at the community center prior to this. We would shuttle people back and forth professionally, and would have our own security on site in the event of any type of incidents. We'd have our own emergency response managers as well. But we would bring our full team in to do presentations, and then after the presentation, we would like to utilize your park to do stationary presentations in terms of what our capabilities are. For instance, we would have resources and materials available. We would have trucks. We would have anything that would not damage the park, but would be available to show what equipment we have should, God forbid, there be some type of emergency with our pipelines. So the only thing that we would like to do, which I want to make you aware of, depending upon weather, would be to put a boom out in the water. Now, this would just be a plastic boom, no hazardous materials, no oil, of course, just to show what we would do. We would not damage any wildlife, any plant life, any flora or fauna But just wanted to see if that's something that you'd be amenable to. Now, we spoke with Don Tar, who has stake, as I understand, in the park. I spoke with Craig Tim and his team, and they said they fully approve of our use of the park, contingent upon city council approval as well. So we would like to partner with them as well, and we'd like to invite you to join us for this type of presentation should you decide to honor our request. It, again, is that we would have stations at the park where we would show various forms and pieces of equipment. We'd be there to answer questions. It would be invite only, mostly tapered toward emergency response personnel, but we'd also invite local and state officials as well, both Democrats and Republicans. It's not a Trump rally. But we want, and if there's individuals that you'd like us to invite or you'd like to bring along, the only thing we ask is we'd like people to RSVP, because we'd like to keep it under 200 to 250 people, not at one time, but total, so that we can manage it. And again, we have our full teams, our public affairs teams, our emergency response managers from Chicago, as well as our individuals. We even have first aid available should anything happen, even a cut or a scratch. So we have a full contingency plan. I gave part of the plan, a working plan to Mr. Schmidt. Happy to provide you with that working plan in terms of what it would look like and who we would invite and who we'd have in terms of our team there. But that's the reason we want to do it. It's more outreach, but it's also to show, look, we are not only active and involved in the community, and we have assets here, but we also are prepared in the event of emergencies, and to answer questions from anyone that wants to pose those questions about our capabilities.
Say, Scott, a quick question. Is the intent that everyone's at the community center at one time?
No.
No.
No, this would be staged. We would have various times where people would come in. We would, I'm not sure how many people would, we'd have about 200 people invited. I'm not sure how many people would be there at any given time, but we don't want more than 25 or 30 at any one time. And again, we would shuttle them back and forth. This would be throughout the day. We'd start around 10:30-ish. We would like to do it throughout the day during daytime hours. And of course, we're flexible on that as well. But we'd like to do this in staged. We don't want to have 500 people there at any one time. And again, the maximum we're thinking is about 200 to 250 total throughout the day.
So it's like considered almost like an open house, is that? Or you're
Yes.
setting up the invitations are by timing?
People can select times, and
Okay.
we would be flexible in terms of that, but we would want people RSVP so we can properly manage it, and we can also, maintain a safety capability as well. This would not be an open house for the public. We'd be happy to do one at some point in time, but again, that's hard to manage, and we also want to be very respectful of the park, and we don't want any damage to the park or your park assets, but we want to make sure that we are tapering this toward emergency management and local officials to show what we're capable of. And again, we're happy to do this again, but we want it managed properly and we don't want to leave any damage.
The attorney here brought up dealing with the boom in the river. Is there any DNR issues or?
No, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Mayor. We have checked with the DNR.
Okay.
They said as long as there's no hazardous materials, that they are fine with it. They'd like possibly to have someone on site, which that's perfectly fine with that. We would like to, before we went ahead with that, to get that in writing. Not that we don't trust the DNR, but we would like to make sure that we would have that in writing should the public wonder why is there a boom out here. We just want everything maintained so that we can provide that to you with your constituents if they have questions as well.
Well, we did discuss this at the Public Works Committee. We were okay, we were in favor of this taking place. I guess we just had a couple more questions out of that discussion. And we went with the letter, the email that you had sent out, and basically we just had a couple more questions, more specific on how it was actually going to operate. And I mean, Rick's good one. I was kind of the impression too, everybody was going to be at this big presentation and then shuttle back and forth to the different stations down there or whatever, but.
No, our plan, Mr. Mayor, is to start around 10:30-ish, and then every 10 to 15 minutes shuttle individuals. So we'd like to do the presentations and keep those presentations, so we can do question and answer sessions. And depending upon the amount of folks that RSVP to us, we would be prepared to go throughout the day. But we don't want any more than 20 to 25 people at one time. We just think that that's not manageable safety-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that idea. It gives a lot more scheduling options for people that do want to make it, you know.
And again, we'll accommodate, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll work with folks, and we would have every contingency in terms of, should someone be handicapped to, and again, this is flexible, so if it does rain, we may have to come back to you, depending upon the severity. If there's, some type of hazardous weather, we're not gonna put people in danger, so we would gauge it and keep in contact with you accordingly. So we can't prevent that, but we want to make sure that we're prepared for as many contingencies as possible. We have done this before. This is my first rodeo with regard to this type of presentation, but we have a full team of about 20 people planning, operating, managing, and being on site to accommodate any type of emergency.
Is this like, are you going to be doing this at multiple locations along the route, or they're kind of selecting us as a focal point?
You're the most important city in Wisconsin, so we chose you.
We know that.
We chose this because of location. Obviously, we have assets that are in the general vicinity, but we also wanted to do it near the Wisconsin River because we wanted to show our capabilities in proximity to the river. So to answer your question, yes, we will be doing more of these. They have not been planned yet.
Okay.
We want to get it right. We have done these in other states, and we have done these in Wisconsin, I think 2 to 3 years ago, not here. But we're learning as we go along, and we want to do more of these as we go along. But you learn more each time as you do them.
I like it a lot. I think it professes a good neighbor policy.
And it's awareness too. We want people to be aware that we have emergency response capabilities, and if we can make those better, we want to take that input too. Especially from local officials and emergency response personnel. So it's part of the reason we do it. It's not just to show off our equipment. It's to take and have that conversation, which is why we're doing the presentations as well.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Well, it does get wet down in the park, just in case you do have rain as well. I mean, we could probably adjust that too, and
You just move it up.
put it up on top of the hill, and
Sure, and we don't want to do any damage with contingencies like that. We don't want to do any damage to the park, and we'll absolutely work with you at every step of the way and keep in contact with you. And if you want changes to the plan, we're happy to accommodate that. It's your park. We want to be respectful.
Coordinate with Rick and the mayor.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you
very much.
Okay, we'll go into committee reports. First is Ways and Means.
Ways and Means has one meeting to report on. I move to accept the minutes as printed.
There's a motion and a second to approve the minutes as printed. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
To the Honorable Mayor and members of the Nekoosa County Council, Ways and Means Committee meeting was held on Tuesday, August 9th, 2016 at 6:15 p.m. in the council chambers at City Hall. Members present were Emmett Peterson, Garrett Kuhn, August Boyack, and Robert Schultz. Also in attendance were Mayor Al Marco, Robert Wenzel, Larry Kupsak, Rick Schmidt, Sean Woods, Brian Easy, and Brad Hamilton. Number 1, we audited the bills. Number 2, we recommend sending the clerk to municipal court clerk conference September 14th through 16th, 2016, with registration and mileage as Number 3, we recommend sending clerk to Municipal Treasurer Association Conference September 22 to 23, with registration, mileage, hotels as per handbook.
That should actually be the treasurer. Yeah, it should be the treasurer's order.
Treasurer, not the clerk. It should have been the treasurer for
both
of them, I'm sorry.
Well, first one was municipal corporate.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's what it. And secretary.
Or whatever.
I wouldn't pay him.
Number 3, recommend sending treasurer to Municipal Treasurer Association Conference September 22 and 23, with registration, mileage, hotels as per handbook. Number 4, recommend sending one person to airport seminar September 20 and 21, 2016 with registration, mileage, and per diem as per handbook. Number 5, we discussed the city website. Any questions? Move to adopt item 1, 2, 3, and 4.
There's a motion, a second, to approve items 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the Ways and Means meeting. Roll call.
Peterson.
Yes.
Krupsack.
Yes.
Whack.
Yes.
Szymanski.
Yes.
Wenzel.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
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 Next is Public Works.
Public Works has one meeting to report on. I move to have the minutes accepted as read.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve the minutes of the Public Works meeting as read. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
To the Honorable Mayor and members of the Nekoosa Common Council, Public Works meeting was held on Tuesday, August 2nd, 2016 at 4 p.m. in the Nekoosa Council Chambers. Members present were Larry Krupsack, Terry Szymanski, Garrett Kuhn, and Robert Schultz. Also in attendance were Mayor Al Marco, Alan Schmidt from the DPW, and August Boyack. Number 1, discuss the WDNR ordinance for removal of salvageable non-structural materials from vacated buildings. Item 2, discuss recycling contract with advanced disposal. Item 3, discuss simplified water rate increase. Item 4, Public Works Director gave update on Point Bass Avenue. Item 5, recommend hiring Crane Engineering to paint the wastewater treatment plant clarifier for $23,180. Item 6, recommend giving Enbridge permission to use Riverside Park on September 21st, 2016 with proof of insurance. Any questions?
Are they aware of that, the insurance?
He is now.
Okay.
We'd be happy to provide that to you.
Okay,
Yep.
then that's good. No more questions, sir.
You realize you're good for it. Move to adopt item 5 and 6.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve items 5 and 6 of the Public Works Committee report. Roll call.
Krupsack.
Yes.
Whack.
Yes.
Szymanski.
Yes.
Wenzel.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Yes. Kuhn.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Next is Public Safety.
Public Safety had one meeting. I make motion for the minutes to be approved as written.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve the Public Safety minutes as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
The Honorable Mayor and members of the Nekoosa Common Council, the Public Safety Committee meeting was held on Tuesday, August 2nd, 2016 at 5 p.m. Nekoosa Council Chamber. Members present Terry Szymanski, Brad Hamilton, Emmett Peterson, Robert Wenzel. Also in attendance Mayor Al Marco, Robert Schultz, August Woyak, Garrett Kuhn, Larry Krupsack, Rick Schmidt, Sean Woods, Ken Moody, Don Hirsch, Mike Archie, and Dave Reinschmidt. Number 1, discuss special event ordinance. Number 2, discuss chronic nuisance ordinance. Number 3, update on police investigations. Number 4, discuss Prospect Avenue speed limit. Number 5, recommend sending 1 juvenile law conference, 1 officer to juvenile law conference September 14th and 15th, 2016 in Madison per contract. And number 6, discuss ambulance service in town of Rome. Any questions? Move to for number 5.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve item number 5 of the Public Safety Committee report. Roll call.
Whack.
Yes.
Szymanski.
Yes.
Wenzel.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Yes. Kuhn.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Krupsack.
Next is Property, Recreation, and Human Affairs.
The Honorable Mayor and members of the Nekoosa Common Council make a motion to accept minutes as printed.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve the Property, Recreation, and Human Affairs Committee report as printed. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
To the Honorable Mayor and members of the Nekoosa Common Council, Property, Recreation, and Human Affairs Committee meeting was held on Tuesday, August 2nd, 2016 at 6 p.m. in the Nekoosa Council Chambers. Members present were Robert Wenzel, Chairman, Emmett Peterson, Secretary, Garrett Kuhn, August Woyak. Also in attendance were Mayor Al Marco, Robert Schultz, Larry Krupsack, Brad Hamilton, Josh Colo, Sean Woods, and Rick Schmidt. Number 1, we discussed the outdoor recreational plan. 2, recommend final payment on skate park and an additional $4,000 for landscaping. The sign is being built. Number 3, discuss business grants. Number 4, discuss splash pad. Number 5, discuss cemetery plan update. Number 6, discuss community center. Number 7, discuss hospitality study. Number 8, discuss beer fest event. Number 9, motion by Kuhn, second by Wenzel, to go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85, paren 1, paren E, regarding properties located in the industrial park. Wenzel, yes. Peterson, yes. Kuhn, yes. Boyak, yes. Motion carried. Make a motion to accept number 2.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve item 2 of the Property, Recreation, and Human Affairs report. Roll call.
Szymanski.
Yes.
Wenzel.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
I vote yes. Kuhn.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Herzog.
Yes.
And Boyak.
Yes. I just wanted to thank County Concrete for a donation towards the landscaping on the skate park. So they, I believe it was $4,000
Yes.
that they donated. So we were able to do up to around $8,000 in the landscaping. Through the generosity of County Concrete.
Okay, anybody have anything under old business? Going into new business, first is the Wood County Library Tax Exemption Resolution. This, we sign this every year. I'd like a motion, a second, to approve that resolution.
Second.
Motion, a second, to approve the Wood County Library Tax Exemption Resolution. Roll call.
Wenzel. These guys are a bunch of comedians, by the way. Wenzel.
Yes.
Schultz. I vote yes. I'll say that. Kuhn.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Herzog.
Yes.
Boyak.
Yes.
And Szymanski.
Yes.
Next is a budget resolution to transfer $251,264.66 from the general fund into the water account. Like a motion, a second, to approve that resolution.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve the resolution, transfer the money. Roll call.
Schultz.
Yes.
I vote yes. Kuhn.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Herzog.
Yes.
Boyak.
Yes.
Szymanski.
Yes.
And Wenzel.
Yes.
Next under new business is a request for a water credit that came in after the agenda for Public Works was submitted. Rick, you want to handle that a little bit?
Sure. We had a request for a water credit at 171 Wood Avenue. And they had 1 month where they used a little over 20,000 gallons of water. And I spoke with the individual that owned it, Gabby Schuneman, and that they felt they got it rectified. They felt there was a leak in their toilet. So I did indicate that we do offer a one-time credit, and after that, the credit is not available. So she did send an email asking for the credit, and I went through and took a look at the records and calculated an average amount of 3 gallons a month, which gives them a credit of 21,000 gallons. So it only gives them a volume credit for water and sewer. They still have to pay the fixed fees. So given that, they would receive a credit for that 21,000 gallon volume for water and sewer at $265.44. It would be credited back to their account.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve the water credit. I suppose we'll do a roll call.
Hamilton votes yes. Kuhn. Yes. Peterson.
Yes.
Herzog.
Yes.
Boyak. Yes. Szymanski.
Yes.
Wenzel.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Anybody else have anything under new business? Going into monthly reports. First is the Public Works monthly report.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve the Public Works report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is the ambulance department's monthly report.
Move to second.
There's a motion, a second, for the ambulance department's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is the fire department's monthly report.
Move.
Second.
Motion, a second, for the fire department's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Did we get a building inspector?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
sir.
we did.
Okay.
I was just
Let's have it.
I'll do it if you can get that.
Motion and second to approve that.
I so move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is Community Center's monthly report.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second for the Community Center. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is the Airport Commission.
So moved.
Any updates?
Nothing exciting as of right now, besides the meeting that's I'm going to be going to next month. Everything is running along pretty good. We got a new, there are new guys working out really well up there, new administrator. If anybody wants to take a tour of it, you're more than welcome. I can take you through it, the administrator can take you through. I've got a cell phone, so come on up. It's a really great place. It's getting very good.
All in favor of the report?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is Police Department's monthly report.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and second for the Police Department's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is the Code Enforcement Officer's report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is the bills.
All right, you guys got the copies of the three big bills. And we have mayor's salary of 600. Common council is 520. Ways and means, 250. Public works, 250. Public safety, 250. Prop and rec, 250. The camera operator pay sheet, $20. And airport commissioner, $55.
Make a motion to pay the bill. Second.
I'm sorry, who seconded that?
I did.
Roll call vote on the bills.
Kuhn,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Krupsack,
Yep.
Wyack,
Yes.
Szymanski.
Yes.
Wenzel,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
and I vote yes.
Anybody have anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Just a reminder, this weekend is the fire department's
Thank you.
fundraiser dance. If anybody's available, come on down for Saturday.
Now, done.
Anybody else have anything?
You have a motion and a second, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.